This is Murli. In last video, we are discussing about what is meant by inheritance, what are the different types of inheritance, and how they are implemented. In last session, we discussed about the single inheritance and multiple inheritance. In this session, we are discussing about multi-level inheritance. We are discussing about multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance and multipath or hybrid inheritance. We can discussing about these two topics, right? You know what is meant by inheritance. Inheritance means to acquire the properties, to acquiring the properties from parent class, into child class. From the parent class into child class is called as a inheritance. Is called as a inheritance. You know what is meant by inheritance means to acquiring the properties from the parent class into child class. Clear? That is the concept of inheritance. Now here what is meant by multi-level inheritance? What is meant by multi-level inheritance? What is meant by multi-level inheritance? Multi-level inheritance means to derive a new class, that is called as a child class or derived class, to derive a new class from already derived class. Okay, na? What is meant by multi-level inheritance means we can derive a new class, right? We can derive a new class, that is a child class. From where you have to derive? You have to derive from already derived classes. That is called as a multi-level inheritance. We can deriving the one new class. Suppose for example, now C is the derived class. Now it is the new deriving class and this is the child class, right? From where this child class you have to derive from means now already derived. Suppose B. The B is already derived from the class A. Now it is the concept of multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means we can deriving a new class. Here C is the, here C is the new class, that is the derived class, right? C is the derived class. We can derive the class, new class, from already derived class. Now it is the base class. It is a base class. Now it is the derived class. It is a derived class. Now it is the child class. Okay, now here I can derive the new child class from already derived class, is called as a multi-level inheritance. Clear? What is meant by multi-level inheritance? Now we will see the one example. We will see the one example for multi-level inheritance. Simply we can creating the one class. Suppose class A, right? In class A I have the some variable. Suppose A equal to 10, B equal to 20, and I have to define the one function. Define. Suppose same you have to perform the addition. Okay, now by using the argument as a self, simply we can display print self dot A plus self dot B. Okay, now same again. Now class B. Now class B is derived from class A. Class B is a child class of the parent A. Okay, now class B is the derived from class A. Now here I can declaring the some more variables. Suppose C. The value of C is suppose 10. And here I have to define the one function, right? Define. Okay, now suppose subtraction. Okay, now subtraction of self subtraction of the self variable, right? Here I have to display, I want to perform the subtraction operation. You can print, right, self dot b minus self dot a. Okay, sorry, otherwise self dot c. Self dot c. Here you can see now b is a member variable of the parent class A. Now it will be inherited into the class B, that is a B variable, and self C is the member variable of the same class. Now we have to inheriting the properties of some parent class into child class. Now again here I have to derive a new class, suppose C, from where I have to derive from the already derived class. What is the already derived class here? B is the already derived class from the A. Now here I can deriving the one more new class C from the already derived class B, is called as a multi-level inheritance. Clear? Here I can implement the same. I have tried to declare the some more variable, suppose D, suppose the value is the 30. Now I have to define the function. Define, suppose multiplication of the same argument as a self argument, and you have to print, you know, what I want to perform the multiplication. Multiplication means I can take the value, I have no need for this one, directly I have to take it. Self dot A into self dot C means here I can see the A is a member variable of the A, class A, C is the member variable of the class B. In multi-level inheritance, whenever you can derive the class from already existing derived class, means we can accessing the super parent class, means grandparent, parent and child classes. Now this class is called as a grandparent, right? It is a grandparent of the C. Now it is the parent of C, right? Now it is the child class, right? Then we can directly access the properties of the grandparent class as well as parent class into a class, right? It is the concept of multi-level inheritance. Here I can creating the object for directly C class. Now object equal to which class I have to creating means for the derived class only I have to creating the object. Then directly we can access object dot same. The function is called as a add. Now object dot subtraction. Next object dot multiplication. Now it will be executing the enter. Now output for this one, print self dot A means self. What is the A B value? 10 plus 20, 30. For this one subtraction, B value is a 20, C value is a 10. 20 minus 10 means we can get the output as a 10. Now multiplication, self dot A 10 into self dot C 10. 10 into 10 we can get the output as a 100. Means like that we can acquiring the properties from the grandparent and parent class into a new derived class is called as a multi-level inheritance. Clear? Right. Next we can see what is meant by multipath inheritance. The next one is multipath inheritance. Multipath inheritance. Okay. The multipath inheritance is also called as a hybrid. You know what is the meaning of hybrid? Means more than one you have to add it. See, suppose here there is a one parent class, suppose P, right? From this parent class I derived one subclass, suppose derived class D. It is a parent class. From this parent class I can derive the one more class is a D. Now from this parent derived class, and suppose if there is a one more either derived class or base class, whatever it may be, okay, now suppose base class. Now I have to derive the one more is class is called as a child class. Now class C is a child class or derived class. Okay, now child class or derived class. I can derive the class, that's a child class, from already derived class and one parent class. sometimes it is also from the derived class also. Suppose it is a class A. Now we can derive a new class from two derived classes. We can derive one new class from the two derived classes is called as a hybrid or multipath inheritance. Clear? Next we can see the example for multipath inheritance. Simply I have to explain. Suppose class A, right, some value, and I have to define the sum function. Suppose define display, right, we can using the self, and we have to write the some statements. Print, directly I have to write the some program. Suppose welcome message, right. Suppose I can creating the one more class. Suppose B. Now B is derived from the A. B is derived from the A. Now B is a subclass of A, right. Here I can define the one more function. Suppose define, suppose print or print of the self, right. I can print the something, print hi, print hi. Now I have the one more class. Suppose class C, and otherwise class base, okay, this base. Now I have to define the one more function method for this base class. Suppose class something dd display of the self, right. Here I have to display indentation, I have to display something, how are you, right. Now I have the two classes. A is a parent class, B is a child class of the parent A. Now B is a one base class. Now here I have to derive one class that is called as a child class. Suppose class child, okay, now this child class is derived from B, okay, now the class child class is derived from the B, as well as one more class is called as a base class. Now B is a derived class from the A. Now B is a derived class and the base is the base class. Now I have to define the or declare the derive the one class, that is a child class, from hybrid method. It has a two properties, A and B, and base is the one class. Now here the child class is a hybrid class. Now here I have to declare the some methods. Suppose display, define display of the self. Here I have to display the methods. Print hybrid, it is a hybrid class. That's all. Now to which class you have to creating the object? Whenever you have to creating the object for the child class, okay, now there is a child class object, C object equal to, I can creating the object for the only child class. Now by using the C object method, right, I can accessing the display method, that means the child class object, as well as one base class for this object also. C object dot, what is the method name? dd, right. Same C object dot print, right. I can executing this method. Next, what is another method? C object, right. C object dot, the method name is the display, right. It is the concept of multipath inheritance. Multipath inheritance or hybrid inheritance means we have to acquiring the properties, or you have to derive a new class from already derived class of more than one classes. Is called as a multipath inheritance. Clear? I hope everyone should clear about the what is meant by inheritance, what are the different types of inheritance, right? Single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Okay, clear? If you have any doubts or need any clarifications, comment in your comment section, right? If you like the video, right, you can like the comment. Thank you.